The following is a presentation of the Missouri Sports Network.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to High School Game Day here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, brought to you by LiUNA, Labor's Local 663, who remind us, drive safely in those work zones. Those folks want to go home to their families as well. Also brought to you by the Bank of Billings. The Bank of Billings with two locations, one in Billings and also in Marionville. The Bank of Billings was established in 1889, the oldest bank in Christian County. Also presented by Doak Propane. Doak Propane for all your propane needs in Polk County and surrounding counties. See the folks at Doak. Well, here we are in week 6 of high school football here on October the 4th, 2024. As we have reached the halfway point, tonight will put us over the halfway point. And actually, in some cases, last night put them over the halfway point. There were some games on the docket last night. As Marquette moves to 4-2, they give Hazelwood East their first loss, 24-17. And Parkview High School goes to 3-3 as they defeat Springfield Central 48-0. Nixa is 6-0, and they defeat Kickapoo 48-13. And Wright City over Veritas Christian High School 45-0. Coming up tonight in high school football, and we will look at 8-man football. Osceola will be at Appleton City. Drexel is at Archie 5-0. Keatsville is at Bramer also undefeated on the season at 5-0. Santa Fe is at Concordia. Mound City is at DeKalb. Greenfield will be at Jasper. Bishop LeBlanc is at Kansas City East Christian. North Andrews at King City. Liberal is at Lockwood. Plattsburgh at New Heights Christian Academy. Rich Hill is at Northland Christian. North Shelby is at Northwest Hughesville. Knox County is at Paris. St. Joe Christian is at Pattonsburg. Albany, they're 5-0 on the season, and they're at Princeton. West Nottoway, also 5-0, will face Rockport, who is also 5-0. Southwest Livingston County is at Schuyler County. Hardin Central 5-0 is at Slater. South Nottoway is at South Holt. Sweet Springs is at St. Paul Lutheran. Worth County at Stanberry. Tarkio is at Stewartsville. And Orick is at Wellington Napoleon. That's the 8-man schedule for this evening. As we look at the remaining schedule, Houston is at Ava. 2 4-1 teams there in the SCA. Smith Cotton is at Battle. Rockhurst looks to go 6-0, number 1 ranked team in Class 6, as they're at Blue Springs. Lee Summit North also undefeated on the season, and they're at Blue Springs South. Coming up here on High School Game Day, we got to catch up with Lee Summit North head football coach Jason Rogers, and he's coming up here in just a few minutes. Blair Oaks is at Blue Valley Southwest out of Kansas City. California is at Boonesville. Clever is at Buffalo. Elias Catholic is at Capital City. Both teams 4-1 there as well. We also caught up with Capital City head football coach Joseph Collier, and that interview is coming up here in another segment. Seneca looks to go to 6-0, but they take on a good Carl Junction team who's 4-1. Joplin is at Carthage. Jackson is at Central Cape Girardeau. Potosi is at Central Park Hills. Highland is at Centralia. Confluence Prep is at Chaffee. DeSmet is at Chaminade. Lipscomb Academy out of Tennessee is at CBC. Butler's at Cole Camp. Lone Jack is at Crestridge. Lone Jack was our LiUNA Labor's Local 663 Team of the Week, and that interview will be coming up here in a moment as well. Roosevelt is at Crystal City. St. Pius X Festus is at Cuba. Mount Lighthouse Christian is at Diamond. Southeast is at East Kansas City. Penny is at East Buchanan. Monette is at East Newton. Rockwood is at Eureka. Eureka looks to go to 6-0. Raytown South is at Excelsior Springs. St. Francis Borgia is at Father Tolton. Tipton is at Fayette. North County is at Festus. Northwest Cedar Hill is at Fox. DeSoto is at Fredericktown. Fort Zumwalt North, they look to go to 6-0, and they are at Fort Zumwalt East. North Point is at Fort Zumwalt South. Fort Zumwalt West is hosting Francis Howell North. Brookfield is at Gallatin. Waynesville is at Glendale, as both those teams try looking for their first victory of the season. Kearney, undefeated, is at Green Valley, who's 4-1. North Kansas City is at Grandview. Osage is at Hallsville. Charleston is at Hayti. Hazelwood Central is at Hazelwood West. Grandview is at Herculaneum. Sullivan is at Herman, who's 5-0. Jeff City is at Hickman. Logan Rogersville is at Hillcrest. Both teams there looking for their second win. Lafayette County is at Holden. Warrenton looks to go to 6-0 as well as they travel to Holt. Perryville is at Jefferson Festus. Bishop LeBlond is at Kansas City East Christian. Dexter, also 5-0, and they will be at Kelly. New Madrid County Central is at Kennett. North Andrews at King City. Hannibal is at 5-0 Kirksville. Lexington is at Knob Noster. Chillicothe is at Lafayette St. Joe. McClure is at Lafayette Wildwood, who also is looking for their sixth win of the season. Nevada is at Lamar. Mid Buchanan is at Lathrop. Park Hill is at Liberty. Mountain Grove is at Liberty Mountain View. Washington is at Liberty Wentzville. Adrian is at Lincoln. Winnetonka is at Lincoln College Prep. Westminster Christian Academy is at Lutheran South. Gateway 5-0 is at Lutheran St. Charles. Clark County is at Macon. Pierce City is at 5-0 Marionville. Branson at 5-0 goes to Marshfield. Benton is at Maryville. Aurora is at McDonald County. McClure North is at Melville. Fulton is at Mexico. Windsor at Midway. Trenton is at Milan. Sarcoxy is at Miller. Marshall is at Moberly. Palmyra is at Monroe City. Mark Twain is at Montgomery County. Cassville at Mount Vernon. Willard at Neosho. Louisiana is at North Callaway. St. Mary's Academy is at Northeast Kansas City. Center is at Oak Grove. Central St. Joe's at Oak Park. Warrensburg is at Odessa. Winfield at Orchard Farm. Lebanon is at Ozark. Owensville is at Pacific. Knox County is at Paris. Lee Summit at Park Hill South. St. Joe Christian is at Pattonsburg. Seckman is at Pattonville. Hogan Prep is at Pembroke Hill, who's 5-0. Harrisonville is at Pleasant Hill. Malden is at Portageville. Polo is at Putnam County. Lee Summit West is at Ray-Pec. Hard to believe just one win between those two programs. Forsyth is at Reed Spring. Webb City at Republic. Carrollton is at Richmond. Oakville is at Rittenhour. Camdenton is at Rockbridge. Lynn is at Russellville. Fort Osage at Ruskin. Cameron at Savannah. Marceline is at Salisbury. Caruthersville is at Scott City. Stockton is at Sherwood, and we'll be hearing from Stockton head football coach Luke Rader. Poplar Bluff at Sykeston. Ash Grove is at Skyline. Hardin Central is at Slater. Platte County is at Smithville, and we'll hear from Smithville head coach Josh Spear here in the show as well. Maysville is at South Harrison. Eldon at Southern Boone. North Platte is at South Shelby. Fairgrove looks to go to 6-0 as they're at Springfield Catholic. St. Charles is at St. Charles West. Riverview Gardens is at St. Dominic. St. Clair is at St. James. St. Pius X out of Kansas City is at St. James Academy in Kansas. Rolla is at St. Mary's Southside. Van Horn at St. Michael the Archangel. Bayless is at St. Vincent. Liberty North is at Staley. Worth County is at Stanberry. Hollister is at Stratford. Stratford looking to go to 6-0. University Academy is at Summit Christian Academy. Cabul is at Thayer. Francis House Central is at Timberland. Francis Howell is at Troy Buchanan. Troy Buchanan sits at 5-0 as well. Raytown is at Truman. KIPP KC Legacy is at Turner, Kansas. Farmington's at Union. St. Genevieve is at 4-1 Valley Catholic. 5-0 Bowling Green is at 5-0 Van Far. Clinton is at Versailles. El Dorado Springs is at 5-0 at Warsaw. Bolivar is at West Plains. Lawson is at West Platte. Scotland County at Western. Belton at William Chrisman. Salem at Willow Springs. And Hillsboro at Windsor Imperial. Again, coming up in the show, we will hear from Hillcrest softball coach Michael Runnels as the Springfield Invitational gets underway and has been started 11 o'clock this morning. He'll talk about that tournament, how you can be a part of it, and where they're located, and the teams are involved. Stockton football coach Luke Rader will also join us. The Lone Jack football team of the week will join us, as well as Branson football coach Aaron Hafner sat down with us about 10 days ago, and we'll play that interview. Lee Summit North head football coach Jason Rogers will join us as well. As well will Capital City head football coach Joseph Collier and Smithville football coach Josh Spear. All of that coming up right here on the Missouri Sports Network. It is high school game day. Back after this.
I'll have the avocado toast minus the avocado.
So, toast.
Yeah. Everything is so expensive these days.
Hey, Chevy gets it. That's why they're keeping prices down to earth, like on the most affordable EV in America. A super strong and capable Chevy truck.
And a high-tech Chevy SUV.
Why is Chevy making affordable vehicles connected by OnStar? It's so together, we can do more.
We believe banking should make your life greater. It starts with affordable options to meet today's needs and tomorrow's dreams. From smart account options that fit your style to flexible loans for what comes next. It means convenient ways to access and manage your money whenever you need it and wherever you're headed. Most of all, it takes great support. Someone you can count on for trusted guidance and to be there for you every step of the way. Great options, great convenience, great support for life. Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
It's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective, and find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Chevrolet.
Hey, welcome back to High School Game Day here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Guy Newcomb alongside here. And as always, brought to you by Liona Labor's Local 663, reminding us, hey, drive safely in those work zones. Those folks want to go home to their families as well. Also presented by Bank of Billings. Bank of Billings, established 1889, the oldest bank in Christian County. We go north to Smithville High School, and not unfamiliar territory for the Missouri Sports Network, and we bring in the Smithville Warriors head football coach, Josh Spear. Coach Spear, thanks for your time.
Hey, thanks, Guy. Thanks for having me.
And, Coach, not unfamiliar. We've had you on once before, but it was a different sport.
Yeah.
It was baseball then, and we have a rule here that you got to come on the show 3 times before you're actually a friend of the shows. We'll get you back on again this year.
All right, sounds good.
Coach, you guys are off to a 4-1 start. Talk about the season for the Warriors up to this point.
Yeah, you're right. We're off to a great start so far. We got a great group of boys that have really obviously, this is my first year as head coach. I've been there for 10 years as an assistant, as a defensive coordinator. We were able to maintain most of our staff through the head coaching change with that, which was a huge for us. We have a phenomenal group of guys that most of us have been together for 8 to 9 years. And that was big for the kids and us as a staff. And our kids have really bought into what we've been doing with our pillars of attitude, effort, toughness, and accountability is kind of just what we hang our hat on. And we're, like I said, we're off to a great start with that. We're 4-1 right now. We got 2 big wins early versus Truman and Raytown South, weeks 1 and 2. Then went and played a really good Kearney team where we left a lot of things out there and they executed and we didn't that night. And then we were able to come back, get a huge win against a really, really good Oak Park team. We kind of grinded that out against those guys. I mean, last week we were able to beat an Excelsior team that's making steps in the right way and just doing a lot of really good things. So, like I said, our guys are working their tails off. They're doing everything that's asked of them, and it's paying off for them on the field.
I believe a 9-2 season a year ago. What did you lose just due to graduation off of that team that you've had to replace, and who are some of the young men stepping into those roles?
Yeah, off that group, we lost a lot of skill guys. A lot of guys on the outside, a big time receiving threats that have been 2 to 3 year starters for us. Obviously, lost a great quarterback with Jake Schaefer, and we've had some young guys. Colin Downey's really stepped up on the outside for us. Him and Drake O'Neal have been kind of, and then Roman Gilchrist have been kind of our top receiving threats so far this year. And then Peyton Steffen stepped in at the quarterback position for us, and he's doing a good job, but he's getting better every week and getting more comfortable out back there. With that, defensively, we had to replace some guys up front that were pretty good. And Cole Becker, Isaac Yoder, Trevin Nitchie, Aiden Robbins have really stepped up front defensively, and they've done a great job for us.
As you look, you're halfway through the season right now, basically at 4-1, 5 games in. Are you relatively healthy right now as a group?
Yeah, knock on wood. I hate to admit it, but we are really healthy right now. And that just goes to our guys' preparation of just taking care of business in the weight room, taking care of their bodies, making sure they're getting enough sleep, make sure they're hydrating, just all those little things that help keep you healthy throughout the year. Our guys really bought into that, and they're doing a phenomenal job of doing that. And then just us just maintaining their reps at practice and making sure everyone's staying healthy with that. So our guys are doing a really good job with that.
And also being halfway through the season right now, what do you feel like the Warriors are doing really well? And maybe on the opposite side of that, what are some things you need to shore up as you kind of go into the second half of your season?
Yeah, I think so. We're really good up front on both sides of the football, and that's kind of what we hang our hat on. Our offensive line, that group of guys is really gelled. We have quite a few of them back. We're doing a really good job of running the football right now. And on the flip side, defensively, our box players, our front seven on defense are playing really great football right now. I think we're holding opponents under 70 yards rushing per game. So just being able to run the football and stop the run are really big things for us. Some things we just need to shore up on is just offensively, just being more efficient in the pass game is something we're really working on, and it's been a big focus for us because we know if we're able to run the football, the passing games, it's going to open up eventually, and it's starting to happen, and we just got to fix a few things there, and just some minor details. Just the attention to details is something we've really honed in on with our guys of making sure we're getting all the little details because if we want to be the great football team we want to be, we got to make sure we're good to go on those details.
And now this week, here in week 6, you've got a very good Platte County team coming to town at 5-0. What do you know about Platte County, and what are you going to have to do to come out on top?
Yeah, they're a phenomenal football team. We definitely have our hands full this week. This is a big game for us, just being 10 minutes across the road. This has always been a great football game, a great rival game for both of our communities. Offensively, they're explosive. They have a really good group of skill guys on offense, from the quarterback to the running back to about 4 to 5 receivers deep that are really darn good. And we're gonna have to do some things to slow those guys down offensively. And then they got the quarterback Rocco Marriott, who's probably one of the better quarterbacks in the state. And he beats not just with his arm, but he's really done a really good job of running the football this year. Defensively, Coach Mitchell, he's been their defensive coordinator over there for a really long time. Coach Mitchell does a great job with that group. In the years past, and we felt like we've had some pretty good offenses, and Coach Mitchell has done a really good job of shutting us down. With that, they have a really good group of linebackers over there that fly around, make tackles. Daryl Smith, he's going to be a Class 5 All-State linebacker for him. So we're going to have to figure out some ways to run the ball and establish our run game early. With that, but like I said, they're a great team. They're well coached by Coach Utes, and those guys do a great job over there.
Well, outstanding. Well, Coach, I know you've got your hands full today with some stuff, but I greatly appreciate you being generous with your time. Good luck on Friday, and we look forward to getting you back on where we can officially make you a friend of the show.
Thanks, Guy, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate all you do for high school sports.
Thank you. Thank you.
All
Hey,
right,
you're
thanks.
watching High School Game Day on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow.
I'll have the avocado toast, minus the avocado.
So, toast.
Yeah. Everything is so expensive these days.
Hey, Chevy gets it. That's why they're keeping prices down to earth, like on the most affordable EV in America. A super strong and capable Chevy truck. And a high-tech Chevy SUV. Why is Chevy making affordable vehicles connected by OnStar? It's so together we can do more.
We believe banking should make your life greater. It starts with affordable options to meet today's needs and tomorrow's dreams. From smart account options that fit your style to flexible loans for what comes next. It means convenient ways to access and manage your money whenever you need it and wherever you're headed. Most of all, it takes great support. Someone you can count on for trusted guidance and to be there for you every step of the way. Great options, great convenience, great support. For life. Great Southern Bank. Understanding what really matters.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Be great.
When you drive a Chevy, it's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective. And find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Chevrolet.
Hey, welcome back here to the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. I'm Guy Newcomb, the scoreboard guy, and pleased that you're joining us right now in this segment brought to you by Lyona Laborers Local 663, reminding us to drive safely in those work zones. Those folks want to go home to their families as well. Also presented by the Bank of Billings, established 1889, the oldest bank in Christian County, member FDIC. Go down just about an hour south of me here to Branson High School. We welcome in Branson Pirate head football coach Aaron Hafner. Coach Hafner, thanks so much for your time today.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
Coach, off to a tremendous start, 3-0. Talk a little bit about the beginning of the season for the Pirates.
Yeah, it's been a great start for us. It's this is my third year at Branson, and when David Large hired me and a couple of years ago, we knew there were some challenges here that we needed to get fixed, and I think a lot of the hard work in this 3-0 start, started 3 years ago. To be honest with you, it's been an idea and a culture change of a lot of weight room emphasis and practice stuff, and it's taken us 3 years to get to a point where we've been, where we are in 3-0, but just being competitive. Last year I thought we did some really good things throughout the season, being in the COC last year, playing some really solid opponents and different things like that. So we saw some growth from year one to year two. Lots of returning players this year, off to a great start. Played Harrison week one, a solid team out of Arkansas, and then Camden week two, and then Bolivar week three, and again, some growth throughout this year already. And our kids aren't satisfied. We want to keep rolling here, so we got a good group of kids that wants to continue this winning streak and things that we're trying to get accomplished.
Hey, you mentioned your third year there at Branson. Tell us a little bit about your background. I know some of it, because I know some of your family, but it's not for me to tell. But tell us a little bit about your background and where you've been.
Well, I've had a lot of different jobs, and I've kind of been a nomad, to be honest with you, like a lot of other football coaches. But I started my career at Webb City and had an opportunity to coach there in the beginning of my career, which was obviously a great start to an unbelievable experience. I had an opportunity in 2000 to win a state championship as a defensive coordinator under Coach Roderick. Just a great mentor for me and great friend still to this day. And then I had an opportunity to get some head coaching jobs, and Was at Republic for 3 years. A similar situation that Branson was in when I took this job, and did some great things there. And my brother Todd, who's the head coach at Carl Junction, he was just leaving Emporia State and took the head job at William Penn University. And I decided to go up there and get into college football, and was at William Penn for 7 years as the offensive coordinator, and then had an opportunity to be a head college coach at Luther College, a Division III school in Iowa. Great experience there. Daughter graduated from Decorah High School, and she was going to come down and run track at Missouri State. So my life took a little turn from a family perspective, and so I got back into high school coaching, after 12 years of college, and just spending, just trying to get closer to Springfield to watch her run and different things like that. And so I took the head coaching job at Olathe Northwest in Olathe, Kansas, and, was there for 4 years, and then, being at Branson now for 3.
Well, outstanding. We guys, like you mentioned, off to a 3-0 start. You've got West Plains and Parkview coming up at home. What do you feel like your team right now is doing really well? And it's kind of a two-part question. Doing really well, and where are some areas maybe where you feel like, hey, if we're going to make a run at this, these are some areas maybe we need to shore up?
Well, we played really good special teams. We have, in my opinion, the best kicker in the state, Dane Eford. He was a first-team All-State 5A performer last year, and we have him back. Highly touted Division I recruit at kicker. And anytime you have a kicker that you establish a lot of field position and different things, when you kick it out of the back of the end zone on kickoffs and different things like that. So it starts there. We've been playing really solid on defense. We gave up just over 100 yards against Bolivar last week. And, I think the big improvement from the last couple of years is our defense is flying around. You can tell their weight room and development is really showing up. We're very aggressive on defense as far as running the ball and physical. And we do what we do on offense. Like we have an unbelievable quarterback in Luke McCormick, and he's our guy. I mean, he's the guy that does a lot of our checks at the line of scrimmage. He's very, very good decision maker, does a lot of great things as far as running the flex zone. And he's our guy, and we're much improved up front. And, we have several weapons that we're able to throw the ball a little bit. And, that's the difference, especially in the Bolivar game last week, to be able to run flex zone and run the ball and then go 11 for 14 in the passing game, because Tegan Asbury is a big weapon for us. That's a big deal. And I think right now that's kind of just a complete part of our team, and you're right. There's always room for improvement. We got some kids banged up right now. You asked me, I think your second question was, where do we need to do? We need to get healthy in a couple different areas and get some kids back. But, it's a long season. So hopefully get those kids back, more towards district time. And, we have one turnover right now on offense. And I hate to even say it. You got to knock on wood when you say that. But one turnover week 1 and a fumble. And then 0 turnovers the last couple of weeks, and we've turned people over. So that turnover margin has been a big factor in our success as well.
So Friday night, you've got West Plains coming to your place. West Plains has had a ton of success in the last, half decade, if not longer. What do you know about the Zizzers?
That's what's fun about our new conference, the Ozark Mountain Conference, is we're playing a lot of opponents that we're not familiar with. And when you turn on film, you just don't know what you're going to get. You play the Nixes and Republics and Webb Cities all these years. You knew what you're going to get. Like you had a decent idea, but and that's what's been fun for our kids, is seeing some new opponents. And always, in the back of my mind, I'm a football junkie, so we follow football, and we follow West Plains. And traditionally, very hard-nosed team, very physical, and they're no different this year. They play extremely hard. Coach Wyatt does an excellent job scheming and, doing things. He's done a great job against the option in the past, and that's one thing we have to look at. So we expect a real physical game on Friday night, and I know their kids are going to play extremely hard in their big game. They're 2-1, we're 3-0. This Ozark Mountain Conference, this will be week 2, so there's going to be this is going to kind of set the tone for the rest of the year as far as the where people will probably end up in the conference and different things. So this is a big game Friday night.
And it's a big game also because right now you're sitting in that district. You're sitting at number one. At what point during the year do coaches, and some of them have answered this different ways, do you start kind of peeking at that district standings and kind of seeing, okay, where the numbers lie? And I still don't understand the formula, but I know if you beat the guys in your district, you're going to be ahead of them, but maybe hoping to try and get a home game. When do you kind of start peeking at that?
Yeah, that's for us, it's like that 7th, 8th, 9th week. It really doesn't do you a lot of good right now, just from so many things are going to change. And you're right, that formula, I don't think anybody has it figured out. You're correct on that. So you sit there, and I haven't even looked at it yet. So that's news to me that we're sitting at the top. But you have Willard that's playing really good football right now. Has a couple wins, and Republic, they're a young team that's just going to improve. So. As 7, 8, 9 start coming around, you start looking to see, that 1, 2, 3, 4 seed, those are important that you get home games. And, that 1 seed is what you're pushing for. So you get that first week bye to get rested up and get that home field advantage throughout districts.
Well, outstanding. Well, Coach, I greatly appreciate you being generous with your time, and best of luck against West Plains on Friday night. And hopefully we'll get to visit with you on the scoreboard show at some point throughout the season. But good luck, and thank you so much for your time today.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Aaron Hafner, head football coach, Branson Pirates. And you're listening to and watching the Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow.
In the heart of Springfield on historic Walnut Street, just blocks away from the Missouri State campus, Hammonds Field, Great Southern Arena, and downtown Springfield. The Walnut Street Inn features newly remodeled rooms, breakfast served daily, and a friendly, accommodating staff. The Walnut Street Inn is also a great venue for private events. Book your stay or get more information at walnutstreetinn.com or call 417-864-6346.
Imagine a bank that goes where you go, creating seamless solutions for every step in your financial journey, allowing you to manage your money the way you want to, with a banking relationship that makes every day extraordinary. Imagine a world full of possibilities, always within reach. Central Bank. We do banking better.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 290,000 participants here in Missouri who take part in high school sports or activities.
It's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective, and find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Chevrolet.
Welcome back to High School Game Day here on the Missouri Sports Network. Guy Newcomb alongside, as always, presented by Haven Labor's Local 663, who reminds us to go home to their families as well. So Chevy Leaders of the Ozarks Athlete of the Week segment. We go to Lebanon High School and welcome in the new all-time career rushing leader in Lebanon High School history, Jax Glendenning. Jax, thanks for your time today.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to be here.
First off, did you know that you were approaching the record going into that game with Nixa?
I knew that I was 104 yards away going into that game, yeah.
Tell us about the record-breaking run.
Honestly, I was shocked that I hadn't already broken the record. I thought that maybe I probably had because I had rushed, I think it was already like 20 times that game. So I kind of figured that I had it anyways, but honestly, it was just fantastic blocking, and it led to a 65-yard touchdown run, and there was no better way to cap off that record. So,
do you remember going back at in your youth? Do you remember the first yard you gained?
The first start I gained for varsity, you mean?
Yes, sir.
I do remember the first start I had. I played every game as a freshman, but the first time I actually started was against Kickapoo, and I remember it very vividly. Yeah.
Tell us about that day. What do you remember about it?
I don't. So that week leading up to it, I hadn't been told that I was starting at all. It happened that night. One of my coaches, Coach Allen, he's the defensive coordinator. He came up to me and he just told me that I was starting middle linebacker as a 155-pound freshman, and it was actually a really good game. I think I had like 3 sacks on Kickapoo, and my career just kind of rolled on from there. So.
Going back into your youth, have you always been a running back, or have you kind of changed positions?
Growing up in like Mighty Mite football, I switched positions everywhere. I was safety, I was linebacker, outside linebacker. I played line a couple of times just for the fun of it. I was quarterback. I've been thrown all over the place. So it's been fun for sure.
And a long history of running backs coming out of Lebanon since Will Christian has arrived there. And, John Barry, going back to Brock West as well. Have you had the opportunity to maybe visit with those guys that you kind of passed along the way?
Growing up, I was able to talk to them a little bit. Honestly, those guys were idols to me growing up. You know how that goes. Always the little kid on the sideline getting to watch those guys. So I haven't been able to speak to them since I've broken those records, but I've known them my whole life kind of growing up. Yeah.
Jax, you're a senior. If you could go back to that Jax Glendenning who was at an 8th grade age, and if you could get in a time machine and go back and give yourself some advice based on what you know now as a senior, what advice would you give yourself?
It sounds cliche, but I would just say to believe in yourself. I said in the newspaper, the Laclede County Record, I was like, I didn't believe that I was going to beat that record until after sophomore year when I'd already racked up, I think it was 1,600 career rushing yards. And I was like, well, there's no reason I can't do this now. So I would say just to believe in myself, and you've always got people watching you. So even on and off the field, it's important to be a good role model. Yeah.
Who was the first one that you heard from after the game? Outside of your coaching staff, your teammates, maybe was it a mom or dad who did you get that first congratulations from? Maybe in a text or a email or whatever.
Yeah, it's always been my family. It's everyone in my family. Coming down onto the field after every single game, my entire family is there, from my grandparents to my littlest sibling, and then to my Uncle John, who is at every single sports event I've ever had. So just always my family. And then obviously the Lebanon community is very supportive. So I've always had people texting me and congratulating me. It helps a lot knowing that you have so many people on your side. So
outside of your family, who's kind of been that mentor for you? I mean, it may be a coach, it may be a teammate, it may have been someone who was a senior when you were a freshman.
Yeah. I've had so many in my life. It goes all the way back. My first ever football coach was actually my mom. So it goes all the way back to that. But then you go into middle school, and my coach Starnes and Coach Rhodes at Jolie Barber. That's where I played in middle school. So I go back to those times. They were great mentors. And then obviously I go to where I am now, and every single coach on the staff has mentored me. And then as well, I would like to say Dre Dokes. He played for Kickapoo back in the day. He was a stud, and he's been one of my running back coaches as well. So he's been a great mentor.
Now, being a senior, you've made your decision as far as what you're going to do next year. Tell us a little bit about the decision you've made.
Yeah, so I'm committed to Harding University. They're the D2 national champions. They're on a 23-game win streak right now. So I was super excited to get that offer from them, and that process kind of started as a freshman. I went down there for a camp my freshman year, and I met with some of the coaches there, and they basically told me that they were going to recruit me, but they can't do it yet, obviously, because I'm a freshman. So the recruiting process was super slow. I had to wait till I was a junior. It would have been last year, and then they finally were able to reach back out to me, and we worked out a deal, and now that's where I'm heading.
Very good. And you're very familiar with Blake De La Cruz from Parkview.
Yeah.
Who is their current running back and was on their national championship team a year ago. Have you got to visit with him about making that decision?
Actually, when I went up on my visit where they offered me, I got to meet him and talk to him. That is kind of a really cool history there because my brother actually played against him back when he played at Parkview. I remember being very frustrated watching those games because he would run all over everybody, so nobody could ever tackle him. So it was really cool getting to meet that guy. Super nice man. Definitely another mentor. Yeah.
And again, we're visiting with the all-time leading career rusher in Lebanon high school history, Jax Glendenning, here on our Chevrolet of the Ozarks Athletes of the Week, presented by the Missouri State Highway Patrol. Jax, talk a little bit about how you kind of get prepared mentally and physically for a game. You've got a game tonight.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing throughout the day and the week, really, to kind of get prepared mentally and physically?
Well, it goes down to little things, I think, as far as just hydrating, make sure that you're doing the right things. I try and stay away from all processed foods and stuff like that. Try and stay healthy. But as far as like mentally, I would say that I just kind of lock in. I put in my AirPods throughout the school day and don't really, have much outside connection. Kind of just am in my own headspace. And, the more games I play, the less nervous I get to play in them. So I actually just get to go throughout my day like it's any other day. So.
Well, outstanding. It's remarkable at a running back position to be able to stay relatively healthy for 4 years, and that's something. And with your diet, and your exercise, and things like that, and then maybe somebody upstairs watching out for you as well.
Exactly.
But well, again, Jax, on behalf of Chevrolet and the Missouri State Highway Patrol, congratulations for being part of the Chevrolet Dealers of the Ozarks Athlete of the Week.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys for having me.
And I have one more question. I'm a mandated reporter.
Okay.
Missouri State Highway Patrol. Do you always wear your seatbelt?
I wear my seatbelt every single day.
Very good. And you know that the Be Safe, Be Smart, Be Here Tomorrow campaign, you know where it started.
I actually don't.
It was in the Lebanon High School football parking lot.
Really?
Brock West and Hank Brackett got into my vehicle. I was taking them to lunch, and this is 8-10 years ago, maybe longer than that.
Mm-hmm.
And they both put their seatbelts on.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, hey, I appreciate that. Does that come from mom and dad or what? He goes, oh, no. If Coach Christian sees you in town and you don't have your seatbelt on, you have to run reminders.
Yep.
And so that was just it was a cool thing, but I'll never forget that starting right there at Lebanon High School. But
yep.
Jax, congratulations, and best of luck as you go forward here. And we'll be watching the rest of the season and in college as well.
All righty. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're watching the Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol will remind us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here.
In the heart of Springfield on historic Walnut Street, just blocks away from the Missouri State campus, Hammons Field, Great Southern Arena, and downtown Springfield. The Walnut Street Inn features newly remodeled rooms, breakfast served daily, and a friendly, accommodating staff. The Walnut Street Inn is also a great venue for private events. Book your stay or get more information at walnutstreetinn.com or call 417-864-6346.
Imagine a bank that goes where you go, creating seamless solutions for every step in your financial journey, allowing you to manage your money the way you want to, with a banking relationship that makes every day extraordinary. Imagine a world full of possibilities, always within reach. Central Bank. We do banking better.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 290,000 participants here in Missouri who take part in high school sports or activities.
Hey, welcome back to High School Game Day here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Time now for our Playing on Sports and the Missouri Sports Network Team of the Week Spotlight. We'll go to Hillcrest High School, and we welcome in the director of the tournament, host of the tournament, Hillcrest High School head softball coach, Coach Michael Reynolds. Coach Reynolds, thanks so much for your time today.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Coach, first off, talk a little bit about your team. You guys are 17 games into the season already. You've got district starting in just a couple of weeks. Kind of, how do you feel about your team? What are you doing really well right now?
That's what I like my kids. We battle game in and game out. We compete. We like some of the experience that some of these bigger schools have. But my kids come ready, and they're going to give it their all every day. There's been ebbs and flows. We're dealing with some injuries right now, so we're kind of on the lower end of things. But I think come district time, we're peaking just right, and I wouldn't be surprised if we can surprise somebody, honestly.
Obviously participating in this tournament as well, and that tournament is underway today. Talk a little bit. There's 24 teams in this tournament. It's got to be a huge undertaking to put the schedules together and the facilities, the fields, and then make sure it doesn't rain.
Yeah, and that's huge. Weather looks beautiful for these next 2 days, but it's a challenge. Usually I start this thing about in November, where I start asking teams to come play. We hosted at Killian and Cooper Sports Complex here in Springfield, so appreciate them letting us use their field. So 8 fields are going, 24 teams. We start off with 8 3-team pools, and then we kind of seed from there. The way I set pools up is I just kind of look around and try comparing teams that aren't going to play each other. So therefore, you get different teams playing different times and stuff like that.
Yeah, you guys, I believe you're in the pool with Battle Columbia out of Columbia,
Correct.
and Republic. We've seen the state rankings and things like that have come out. Who's maybe some of the teams that may be favored in this tournament?
So I think you'd have to start off, Republic, one team that we play. I mean, they're going to play well. Then you come down Pool C, where you got Camdenton, Liberty High School, and Webb City in that pool, and that's going to be a tough one. Some team is going to be a 3 seed coming out of that one that could win the whole thing. You roll down, you got Kickapoo, you got Marshfield, which I believe they're ranked 2nd in state right now. Teams like Park Hill South, Willard, Bolivar. I mean, you got a ton of teams that can flat out compete. Got Francis Howell in it this year, who won a state title last year. So you expect them to be competing tomorrow to win it all. At least Summit North. I mean, you name it. There's probably 12, 16 teams that can make a run and win this thing. And that's what I love about it is it's really good teams that are in it and given an opportunity for them to compete.
So now you've got it at Killian and at Cooper. Tell us about those 2 facilities. Are they how close are they to each other? What do you have to do running back and forth? What is
they're literally I would say quarter mile apart. It's awesome. So what I'm lucky with is I have 2 other people that are kind of my site directors, and they're going to run it for me while I'm playing. So that helps out a lot, getting scores, updating the big board, and things like that. But really blessed that these 2 facilities are so close, and that the Springfield Park Board allows us to use them, or else I don't know if we would be able to have a tournament like this in the way it's structured.
So pool play today. You go to, is it like a bracketed? Do they bracket them after today, and then that's what starts tomorrow for the 1st, 3rd, 5th place games? Or is that how it works?
Correct. Yep. So all the 1 seeds, so 8 1 seeds we put into a bracket. The 8 2 seeds will be put in a bracket, and then normally the 8 3 seeds will be put in a bracket. But this year I had a team drop for tomorrow, so the 3 seeds they're just going to kind of find some games to play. But yeah, everything gets bracketed out, and that's one thing I really like about this tournament is you can go 0-2 today, and then tomorrow as a 3 seed you can go play some good competition and leave here happy. You're not going to constantly play 5 good teams. Tomorrow you're going to play some teams that are kind of like your caliber, and that's what I really enjoy about this thing. Is it's not just come here and go 0-5 with 5 run rules. I mean, I expect every team tomorrow to compete with kind of their like caliber of teams.
So if folks want to get out there today, they can get out and see some games today. When does the last game start this evening?
So this evening, the last game is going to start at 2:30, I believe. I think it's 11, 12:30, or 12:45 and 2:30 are the game times today.
All right, then tomorrow with the bracketed. What time do they get started, and will they all be at one place?
Yep, tomorrow. So the championship bracket and the runner-up bracket, they get started at 9. They'll go 9, 10:45, 12:30, depending on if you win or lose. And then 2:15 would be our championship game tomorrow. And then the 3 seeds, they get going a little later. They'll get going at 10:45, 12:30, and then they'll end at 4:15 tomorrow.
Well, very good. Well, I know it's extremely busy time for you now. You got 24 teams coming into town, but I appreciate you taking time here to kind of promote this tournament, and we'll try and get out there tomorrow and see some good softball action.
No, perfect. I appreciate you guys having me on.
You bet. You bet. You're watching Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Here featuring the Playing on Sports and the Missouri Sports Network Tournament of the Week Spotlight. Hillcrest head softball coach Michael Reynolds talking Springfield Invitational. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow.
It's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective, and find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Chevrolet.
Hey, welcome back to High School Game Day here at the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage, and presented by Lyona Labor's Local 663, who reminds us, hey, drive safely in those work zones. Those folks want to go home to their families as well. Pleased to be joined now by the Stockton head football coach, Luke Rader. Coach Rader, thanks for your time this morning.
Thank you, Guy. I appreciate what you do, getting our kids out there and all of our high school sports out to the world.
Yeah, we go way back. Even our fathers. We were talking about that a little bit off the air, where your father actually hired my dad as a coach. But tell us a little bit just about your background. Where you went to high school and college, and how you ended up at Stockton. How long have you been there?
That's a long story. I'm getting old enough that there's a lot there. So graduated high school in 2003 from Lockwood. Went and played a couple of years of football out in central Kansas. Ended up graduating from Pitt State. Was an assistant at Lockwood, I believe, for 5 years. Was at Sircoxie as the head coach for 5 years. Then was back at Lockwood again from 2015 to the spring of 2020. I took this job, came up here and met the kids on Friday, and we were out of school the rest of the year. COVID shut everything down that spring. So that first year was interesting, like it was for everybody. And I've been here since 2020.
Now, your team, you're 4-1 on the season. You've won 4 in a row. Just a opening season loss there to an outstanding Marionville team. But you're playing really well right now. What do you feel like your kids are doing well at this point of the season, the halfway point, so to speak?
We've got a lot of experienced kids. We get a big group of seniors and then several juniors helping them out. And obviously that maturity level helps with a lot of things. But also they've gotten a lot of experience. A lot of those kids have started since they were sophomores. And so that helps. And like you said, made some mistakes week 1 against Marionville. And, the challenge there is to make sure you just bounce back. And we have, I think our kids have really taken on an identity this year of being a little bit more physical, especially offensively, which is something, anybody that knows me knows that I enjoy physical football. That's the brand I want to play. So that's been enjoyable. And then we've got some guys back healthy. This is actually going to be the first week, I believe, that we will have everybody dressed out since, I think, June. And we're not 100% healthy like everybody else. We got some dings here and there and some things we're dealing with, but it will be nice to have everybody in pads.
Now, you're going to Sherwood tonight. What do you know about Sherwood, and what are you going to have to do there to come out on top?
They're really physical. Watching them on film, their offensive line gets off the ball well. They've got a running back that is a big kid and he runs extremely hard. We're going to have to run to the football and tackle well. And they've got a couple skilled players that are pretty good. They do some things in the RPO game where it makes it a little bit tougher to load up on that running back. Defensively, same deal. They're physical up front. They've got two really good defensive ends, and then they're big inside. And then, it's a little bit out of the area. We go north this week, and it seems like it's always a tough place to play.
Coach, what as you look at last year's team and compare it to this year with regards to the seniors that moved on because of graduation, who did you have to replace, and who are some of the folks that are stepping into those roles?
That's a tough question to answer. I always feel like if I start naming names, I'm going to leave somebody out. But we had some guys on the line that we had to replace. The fortunate part about that is last year we rotated several guys, so the people that replaced them had some experience on the offensive and defensive line. Had a tight end, defensive end we've had to replace, and same deal. There have been multiple guys that have had to fill that role this year, and then had a couple of linebackers. Aiden Ellifritz was an all-state safety last year that we had to replace, and we've been able to do that pretty well, I think. This year, obviously, it's never easy to 100% replace those guys, and you just hope that as the season goes on, the people you're plugging in there have enough experience that by the end of the year they're playing as well as you were the previous year or better.
All right. Very good. Well, Coach, what time do you guys take off tonight for Sherwood?
We're going to load up at 3:30 and head north. And one of the interesting things about being in Stockton is there's not a straight road anywhere. So we'll take the curves of J Highway north a little ways and then see if we can roll into Sherwood, get warmed up, and be ready to play at 7 o'clock.
Outstanding. Well, Coach, thanks so much for being generous with your time here on game day, and we look forward to following along tonight, and best of luck. And if you guys come out on top, maybe we can get you on the football scoreboard show.
All right. Hey, I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks, Coach.
See ya.
Coach Luke Rader from Stockton High School, kind enough to join us here. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow.
Drive a Chevy. It's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective. And find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Chevrolet.
Hey, welcome back to High School Game Day. It is Friday, High School Game Day here on the Missouri Sports Network. Certainly glad that you have tuned in. And as always, presented by Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks, Central Bank of the Ozarks, Doak Propane, the Bank of Billing, Shelter Insurance, and Great Southern Bank. Great Southern Bank with more than 100 locations in 6 states. Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters. Member FDIC. Well, it's time for our Liona Labor's Local 663 Team of the Week, and we go to Lone Jack High School, and we welcome in head football coach Sheldon McKenzie. Coach McKenzie, thanks for your time today.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Coach, I know we visited early in the season, prior to the season, but let's talk a little bit about the season and how it's gone thus far. And you've got back-to-back wins under your belt.
Yeah, first time in a while from what I've been told. We started out a little slower than what we probably would have liked, but that was more probably attributed to our schedule. We had started out pretty tough with Windsor and Midway. Then we kind of found our footing about week 3 when we played Carrollton. We changed up a few things that we wanted to do just a little bit differently, and that just kind of has helped us from there. We played pretty well against Carrollton, not as well as we would have liked. We turned the ball over 4 times, or that might be a little bit of a different game in the end. But and then since then we've rattled off 2 against Hogan Prep and Cole Camp this last week, and we're just kind of now starting to come into our own. I still don't think we've played our best football yet. We haven't played and these guys behind me will tell you we haven't played a full 4-quarter game just yet. We've put together 2 pretty good quarters. 3 pretty good quarters here and there, but we just haven't quite put it all together just quite yet. So we all believe that our best football is still ahead of us.
Coach, halfway through the season here at game 5, you're going into week 6. What do you feel like right now you're doing really well? And what are some things maybe you feel like you need to shore up before you get to the districts?
Yeah, well, we're running the football really, really well right now. A couple of weeks ago, we had 385 yards rushing, against Hogan Prep. And then last week, we, Cole Camp really stuffed the box on us to try to keep us from running the ball as well as we did. And our play action game came into effect then. And we've set some school records in the last 2 weeks for running the football 2 weeks ago and throwing the football this last week. So we've really just kind of come into our own a little bit, just kind of figuring out who we want to be as a team. So we've figured out how to win games. The past 2 weeks, we figured out how to win games when maybe in years past, that's something that we haven't been able to do here. Just running the football really, really well and being able to use that run to set up our passing game through play action and stuff like that. We've got some guys that are just really leading the way. We've got two seniors and 2 juniors behind me. These guys are team leaders that just come out and go to work every single day. And it's fun right now because, we're winning right now. So it's fun, but practice has been fun. The guys are excited each day to come to practice. When you lose, it's not so much Tuesday. It's kind of like, oh gosh, we got to practice again. And now it's kind of like, hey, we get the chance to go out and get better and win another football game this week.
Coach, and again, we're visiting with our Lionel Labor's Local 663 Team of the Week, the Lone Jack Mules, and head football coach Sheldon McKenzie. Coach McKenzie, right now, are you relatively healthy?
Well, yeah, in theory, we're pretty. We went through about the first 3 weeks without a single injury, and then we've kind of had some nagging stuff kind of pop up on us within the past, just kind of the usual wear and tear of a season. Some bumps and bruises. We've had a couple of guys get injured outside of football. We're not going to name any names or anything, but some guys, some guys that have gotten injured outside of our care. But we've for the most part, we're pretty healthy. We're just the normal mid-season bangs and bruises, that have that you get as the season goes on, just the normal wear and tear stuff. So hopefully we can kind of come out on the other side of that better for it as well.
Well, you've got some of your leaders behind you. You could start wherever you'd like and kind of introduce one at a time and tell us a little bit about them.
Yeah, so we'll start. I'll just start, kind of go left to right on for me. But I've got this is junior Luke Throgmorton is right here. He's our starting quarterback. We didn't see him a lot over the summer because he was playing baseball all over the country. He's one of those guys that plays all the travel ball and does all that. So we kind of got him. He got here. He was here over the summer when he could be, but he's kind of started to come into his own a little bit as a passer lately. We were giving him a hard time that we couldn't throw any touchdown passes because he couldn't ever throw the football. But we came in our own. We made up for that last week. We threw 5 touchdown passes last week, so we went from no touchdown passes on the year to 5 in one game. So let's see if we can get him 5 more this week and keep that thing going. But and then I've got this is Jax Cromwell. He's a senior offensive lineman, defensive lineman for us. He's been helping one of those guys help him pave the way up front for our running game. And one of the guys that's running is Kean Carpenter, who's sitting right next to him. He's a junior. He's our starting tailback and he's one of our linebackers on the defensive side of the ball. One of our leading tacklers. Jax is also, I guess I should also mention, Jax is also our leading tackler on the defensive side of the ball. So he's getting it done on both sides. And then Kean is our leading rusher. He rushed for 244 yards 2 weeks ago against Hogan. Set a school record for rushing yards, single game rushing yards. And then the guy next to him is he's a senior tight end, defensive end. His name's Clayton Layden. He was the beneficiary of 3 of those touchdown passes that Luke threw last Friday night. He's putting up big numbers. He's a big target. He's always a threat whenever he's on the field offensively. That we've watched. He was probably he was a little mad at me after the Hogan Prep game because we only threw the ball 3 times because he was like, "Coach, I'm open." And be like, "Well, no, I mean, you're not. They've got 3 guys on you. You think you are, but you're not." So we've kind of gone through just finding, and then each of these guys have just kind of found their own little niche that they can contribute to the team. And guys like this, they've grown exponentially, both physically and mentally, so much throughout the season of just now. It's like I said, it's a point now where they all want to get here and go to work, and we're just trying to get better each day.
You bet. When I was in college, I played quarterback, and I referred to my wide receivers or my receivers as the Waffle House because they were open 24 hours. I mean, every time I talked, "Hey, I'm open. I'm open."
Yeah, every time.
That's just the mentality there. But we'll start with Luke. Luke, how are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, and you may have to scoot a little closer because I'm having just a little bit of trouble hearing you. I can crank it up a little bit, but Luke, tell us a little bit about the position you play and what your roles and responsibilities are at quarterback.
Well, I play quarterback, obviously, and I think what quarterback deals with is just leading a team, both on offense, but also when I'm on the sideline when defense is out there. My whole goal is just making everyone better around me, whether that's if I'm on the field with them or outside the football field.
And Luke, have you always been a quarterback? Is this a position you played since junior high, or is this something new?
Yes. I played wide receiver my 7th grade year, and then I kind of stepped into that role my 8th grade year, and I've been playing it since then.
What do you do, during the week to kind of get prepared for a game? Now, obviously, watching film, but what else are you doing mentally, leading all the way up to game day? What are you doing mentally and physically to kind of get prepared?
Well, I watch film and just go over my playbook, but I also meet with my guys and making sure they know our game plan and know what we need to do against the team ahead.
Yeah, as you break the huddle, if you do have a huddle, I know a lot of teams right now are the hurry up, but when you look at the defense, what are you looking for? Are you trying to find the Mike linebacker? Are you trying to find a safety in the middle of the field? What are you doing as you come to the line of scrimmage?
Obviously, I'm not gonna give away too many secrets, but I always look at safety, see what they're doing, and see if anybody's gonna be blitzing and how many are blitzing.
And don't tell me what it is, but do you have a favorite play? I mean, are you lobbying coach during the game? Hey, let's call X, Y, Z, or do you have a play like that you always want to run?
I'll take this one. He wants to run the ball. He's always asking me if he can run the ball.
Yeah, and along with that is I'm always trying to get these 2 guys the ball. They're big weapons for us, and I know I can trust them with that.
All right, very good. Well, Luke, hey, congratulations on behalf of Lyona Laborers Local 663 for being part of the Team of the Week.
Thanks, sir.
And now we've got, is it Jax?
Yes, sir.
All right. Tell us a little bit about the position you play and what your roles and responsibilities are.
Yeah, so I play right guard, right tackle. We kind of switch up depending on the week. My responsibility is really to protect these guys, obviously, first and foremost, but also to be a leader. As one of the older guys on the team, a senior, my goal is to go out there and put out sportsmanship and be able to play the game how it's supposed to be played, and to be able to help lead my team, to get touchdowns and get to the wins ultimately. So, my biggest responsibility, I'd say, is probably just trying to be a leader out there to the other guys on the field and trying to protect these guys.
Now, being a senior, and I do this just based on what I do for a living, as I'll go through, schedules and, hey, I'd like to be at that game, or maybe I can find this game on the radio or on a webcast or something like that. As a player, do you come into the season, are there particular games that you look forward to? Maybe it's a rivalry game. Maybe you know somebody on the other team. No bulletin board material, but do you look forward to certain games?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I definitely look forward to playing that rival school. We played them this week, so I'm excited for that. And I'm always looking out for, I know a lot of people on other teams, especially for, games we played in the past where it just leaves a foul taste in your mouth, sour taste in your mouth from the last couple of years, those games. It makes you hungry to want to come out and play better in those games this year. So I'm definitely looking forward to games like that every year.
Now, being a senior, have you made any decision about next year, about college or workforce or military? I mean, what are you leaning towards now?
Yes, sir. So I'm currently in trade school for welding. So I plan on going to, not decided completely yet, but going to a union, a local union around here, trying to get into a union to hopefully do that kind of work that I've been working into. And I'm going to have certifications coming out of high school in welding. So I'm hoping to lean towards that and find the right union for me to go into.
Well, this is sponsored by Leona Labor's Local 663, so there you go. I'll give you Derek Barnes' cell phone number. You call him and he'll put you to work.
All right. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, Jackson, on behalf of Leona Labor's Local 663, congratulations for being part of the Team of the Year, or Team of the Week, I'm sorry. All right. And now we have, is it Ian?
Kean.
Kean, okay. Tell us a little bit about your roles and responsibilities in the position you play.
I play running back and linebacker, so obviously I gotta I don't know. Play my position.
Yeah. Very good. What are you doing this week to kind of get prepared? Are you watching film, or what are you doing mentally and physically?
Yeah, I watch a lot of film. I do a lot of ice baths to work out all those injuries. I like to imagine what I'm going to do on the field before I get out there, just to put my head in the game.
Do you have a favorite play without telling me what it is? Are you lobbying coach to, hey, call this, or do you have a play that when it comes in that you kind of your eyes light up thinking, okay, this is me?
Yeah, I have a lot of those. Anything running the ball, really.
Oh, very good. Well, congratulations on being part of the Team of the Week, and best of luck here as you go forward.
Thank you.
All right. And I've got Clayton.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what position you play and what your roles and responsibilities are.
I play tight end and defensive end. On the offensive side of the ball, I kind of just do what I can to help. If it's a run play, I got to do my job and block the guy in front of me or beside me. If it's a sweep or something, I got to do my job to block the guy so we can get more yards. And then if it's a pass play, I'm just doing my job to try and get open for the quarterback so that we can get some yards there. And then on the defensive side of the ball, got to be a leader out there. Got to call in the plays when I can and just stay in my position. Can't try and do too much. I just got to do what I can.
Were there games coming into this season that you were looking particularly forward to? Being a
Yeah,
senior?
I was looking forward to most of them. I look forward to every week. I mean, last year we weren't too good, so it's just one of those things where you want to go out there and prove to the team that you played last year and lost to that you're better than what you showed last year, and just come out and try and get a different result like we had the last 2 weeks.
What's your favorite part of game day? Is it the meal the night before? Is it just walking out onto the field in a uniform?
Probably just walking out there and playing, man. I mean, there's nothing better than going out there and hitting someone on Friday night.
Very good. Well, Clayton, again, on behalf of Labor's Local 663, congratulations for being part of the Team of the Week.
Thank you.
You bet. And Coach, you've got Crestridge Friday. What do you know about them, and what are you going to have to do to come out on top?
Yeah, well, so we know that, it's a rivalry game, and we haven't and it's my first year here, but and I don't, can't tell you a whole lot about the rivalry, but from what I've been told, it hasn't gone all that well for us in the past couple of years. So we're going to try to get out there and right that ship. And it's a total coach speak, but we just have to do what we do. Like, we don't need to get outside of ourselves, play, do what got us to this point, these last two weeks that have got us the wins that we've been looking for, and just kind of stay within ourselves. Don't try to do anything. I've told the guys every week for the last 3 weeks, right, that we don't have to do anything extraordinary. We just have to do our job and play within your means, do your job. Everything else will take care of itself. At the end of the night, let the chips fall where they may, and we're going to come out and we'll be fine either way, regardless whether, we win, we'll keep building off of it. We lose, we'll look back and, do the things that look at what it was that we could have done better, and we'll work on improving that from week to week. But right now we just have to keep doing what we've been doing. and do what has given us success up to this point.
All right, I've got 2 questions, and they can show me by just a raising of their hands. Number 1, are you having fun? Number 2, and I'm a mandated reporter for the Missouri State Highway Patrol. Always wear your seatbelt.
Do you wear your seatbelt, Clayton?
Yeah.
Very good. Well, I tell you what, Coach, thank you so much for helping set this up, and congratulations to you and your team, and best of luck here Friday night. Maybe we'll get to visit with you on the high school Friday Night Live, the high school football scoreboard show.
Yes, sir. Sounds good.
All right, you're watching the Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow.
I'll have the avocado toast, minus the avocado.
So, toast.
Everything is so expensive these days.
Hey, Chevy gets it. That's why they're keeping prices down to earth, like on the most affordable EV in America. A super strong and capable Chevy truck. And a high-tech Chevy SUV. Why is Chevy making affordable vehicles connected by OnStar? It's so together we can do more.
We believe banking should make your life greater. It starts with affordable options to meet today's needs and tomorrow's dreams. From smart account options that fit your style to flexible loans for what comes next. It means convenient ways to access and manage your money whenever you need it and wherever you're headed. Most of all, it takes great support. Someone you can count on for trusted guidance and to be there for you every step of the way. Great options, great convenience, great support for life. Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate! It's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective, and find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Chevrolet.
Hey, welcome back to High School Game Day here on the Missouri Sports Network. MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Also presented by Liuna, Labor's Local 663, who reminds us, hey, drive safely in those work zones. Those folks want to go home to their families as well. Also presented by the Bank of Billings, established 1889, the oldest bank in Christian County. We go north, as in Lee Summit North, and we welcome in the Broncos head football coach, Jason Rogers. Coach Rogers, thanks so much for your time today.
Hey, appreciate you, and thank you for having me.
Coach, off to a 5-0 start, one of the hottest teams in the state right now. Tell us a little bit about the start and what are some things you're doing really well right now?
Well, we're pretty excited about where we are right now. We really approach the season as one game at a time. Every week we want to go 1-0. Things that I'm most happy about is our run game. We've been able to establish our run and really be able to control the line of scrimmage, both offensively and defensively, and also our defense. I've said it from day one. Our defense was going to be the anchor of this team, and that's really what we've been able to see. So I couldn't be more excited about the honor I have of coaching these young men.
And Coach, tell us a little bit, a 10-1 season a year ago, what did you have to replace off of that team due to graduation, and who are some of the folks that have kind of stepped into those roles?
Well, I think it starts with the offense. Elijah Leonard, who is now at Missouri State, he was really good for us, played lights out. And so, the offseason was just trying to figure out who our quarterback was going to be to lead the charge. And Makai Mitchell, he stepped up major. I mean, he's been really good statistically. He's been really good with his legs and, keeping plays alive. And the boys have really started to rally around him and support him. And then also on the defensive side, replacing the number one player in the nation is never easy. But Saron Harrison, who's taken over for Williams Waneri, he has been incredible, and you know, the offseason for him was very important, and he's checked every box. And so once again, just another young man that we're honored that he's on our team.
Coach, are you guys relatively healthy right now, other than outside of this normal football bumps and bruises?
Oh yeah, we're dealing with some bumps and bruises. But you know, talked to our trainers yesterday, and you know, everybody seems ready to go. But you know, we also structure our practice around injuries and, you know, managing everybody's workload. And I think as a coaching staff, we've done really, really good with that. We're a big, strong, physical team, and so, you know, we're going to deal with those bumps and bruises. But having so many experienced coaches who have played at high levels and experienced a lot of this has really, really helped our program.
Coach, as you look at the season up to this point, you know, were there some games that, you know, you had Bentonville, Arkansas, you know, traditionally a power, Blue Springs right there in Kansas City, traditionally a power. Staley has been good in the past. Ray-Pec a little bit down. Tell us a little bit about your conference that you're in, and I know it changes based on enrollments and things like that every week with the Suburban, I think gold or yellow, and then black, white, red. Tell us a little bit about your conference and kind of handicap it a little bit.
I'll tell you what, man, I don't know what the football gods were thinking, but I'd argue anybody across the nation that we have one of the hardest conferences, you know, around. And that goes for all the teams that include it, you know, not just us, but like you mentioned, I mean, Blue Springs South is really good. Liberty North, I mean, what they've been able to establish up there. You know, I could go on and on about the teams in this conference, but at the end of the day, you know, we focus on us. We focus on the work that we got to do to get better week in, week out. And I'm just grateful that we're in a position that we, you know, the culture we have has brought us to this point to where every year for the last, you know, 4 to 5 years, we've been pretty competitive and toward the top. And so this year will be no different.
Again, we're visiting with Lee Summit North head football coach Jason Rogers. And Coach Rogers, just a little bit about your background. You know, where did you go to high school, college, and how did you end up at Lee Summit North, and how long have you been there?
So Kansas City kid, went to Raytown High School, graduated in 2000. From there, continued my academic and athletic career at Missouri Valley College, where graduated from there in 2004. Had a decent career, you know, nothing great, but started coaching in 2008 with Jamar Mosey and Mark Simcox, who, I mean, those are my football mentors, you know, also in life. And then Jamar Mosey, we've just kind of been, you know, connected at the hip since then. And so I came here with him in 2015. And that's another thing that has helped us this year. I'm not a new face, you know, to whether to the boys or to the community or, you know, administration or anybody. And so, you know, that's really my story, man. And here we are. We're just grateful to have an opportunity to keep this thing rolling.
Now you've got you're at Blue Springs South here on Friday night. Tell us a little bit about that game. What are you guys going to have to do to come out on top? They're 4-1, so they're having a good season as well. What are going to be the goals?
I mean, this game is I mean, I believe this is a game that the Metro is really, really excited about. It should be a great turnout. It's going to be a beautiful night. That is a good team over there. You know, you watch all the scores, but then once I started watching film, they're controlling that line of scrimmage. And so the goal for us this week is, you know, it's going to be two juggernauts colliding and doing this. And so, you know, we believe in what we do. We believe in our offensive and defensive line. And we really just have to, you know, number 2 over there is a good guy. You know, he's good at moving, and they got the two-headed monster in their running backs. And so as long as we control that line of scrimmage, play our brand of football, which is smart, fast, and physical, you know, I like our chances. But once again, that's a really good football team over there. And credit to Coach. You know, I said this 2 years ago that this group of guys they're going to be tough. And so no surprise that they're doing what they're doing.
Coach, you know, Friday Night Live, the high school football scoreboard show for the entire state. If I read a score where Lee Summit North defeats Blue Springs South, are you going to be able to point to 1 or 2 things that, hey, this is why we won this? Maybe it's turnovers, time of possession. What are some things you're going to point at that you're going to have to be successful tonight to win this game?
Definitely time of possession is going to be one of them. As much as we can keep their offense on the sideline, that's what we like to do. but also, we have a pretty good offensive line too. And we got some guys that can run the ball. And so I think those will be the top two narratives. But the third one for me is just staying focused on what we got to do. The week has been really hyped. A lot of these boys know each other. They've been playing Little League and stuff like that for years, whether it be football, basketball, baseball. And so, my message to the boys is let's just keep the main thing, and that's Bronco football. And then our boys are responding well.
Outstanding. Well, Coach, it's been an honor and a privilege to get to visit with you here on the Missouri Sports Network. I look forward. See, we have a rule here on the show. You can't officially become a friend of the show until you make your third appearance. So you go out and get that victory over Blue Springs South, and we'll get you on the Friday Night Live, and then you only got one left, and officially a friend of the show. Andy Lehrman at Liberty North, he just calls me every week. He said, I got to get to that friend of the show. I said, you're already there, Coach.
Okay. All right. Just another goal for me to try to attain. So just know that I'll be on it. I'll be on it.
All right. Coach, hey, thank you so much. Best of luck as you go into this game with Blue Springs South, and we hope to visit with you soon.
Hey, I wish the same for you and yours, man, and look forward to the next time we're able to chat.
You bet. You're listening to High School Game Day on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us, me included, hey, take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow. Talk to you soon.
In the heart of Springfield on historic Walnut Street, just blocks away from the Missouri State campus, Hammons Field, Great Southern Arena, and downtown Springfield. The Walnut Street Inn features newly remodeled rooms, breakfast served daily, and a friendly, accommodating staff. The Walnut Street Inn is also a great venue for private events. Book your stay or get more information at walnutstreetinn.com or call 417-864-6346.
Imagine a bank that goes where you go, creating seamless solutions for every step in your financial journey, allowing you to manage your money the way you want to, with a banking relationship that makes every day extraordinary. Imagine a world full of possibilities, always within reach. Central Bank. We do banking better.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 290,000 participants here in Missouri who take part in high school sports or activities.
Drive a Chevy. It's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective. And find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Chevrolet.
Hey, welcome back to High School Game Day here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Certainly glad you tuned in. And as always, Lyuna Laborers Local 663 remind us, hey, drive safely in those work zones. Those folks want to go home to their families as well. Also presented by No Propane, the Bank of Billings, and Chevy dealers of the Ozarks. We go into our state's capital, Jeff City, and we bring in Capital City Cavaliers head football coach Joseph Collier. Coach Collier, thanks so much for your time today.
All right, thanks for having me on.
Coach, you guys are off to a 4-1 start. First, let's talk a little bit about what you had to replace coming into this year due to graduation, and who are some of the young men stepping into those roles.
I had a veteran offensive line that, and Marcus Galladay, Andy Cabela at guards that we was worried about if we were going to be able to replace them. Mason Chastain stepped in at tackle. And originally we had one of our other tackles from last year step in at guard because we were going to be pulling out guards, and he was pretty athletic. He ended up playing. That was Reese Turner, a returning tackle that we moved into guard, and then Darius Hendricks was not a starter. He was a a backup center, ended up taking the center spot and allowing us to move our center from last year to guard. And Matt Wiegand, pretty good center linebacker for us. And then we just replaced, Turner with Jackson, Aiden Jackson, which we ended up moving Reese back to tackle. And then Nyberry, Obama Nyberry stepped in at guard to replace him. So a little bit switch up, but it's working for us right now. We got 5 guys and a swing guy that we can use, and those guys are performing pretty good together so far.
As you look, you're 4-1 on the season, and this past weekend, week 5, you get a big win over a Jeff City team. Basically, it was an 8-touchdown turnaround from a year ago. Last year, they beat you by almost 2 touchdowns. This year, 6 touchdowns that you beat them by. Talk a little bit about what your team right now is doing really well.
We're working on being as efficient as possible. Last year, we talked as a staff. It was a little bit run dimensional, run heavy. We felt like that we had guys, receivers, and some perimeter guys and receiver and open our offense a little bit. Our quarterback can throw, and he's a year into it. He kind of won the job as a sophomore. We had Isaiah Franklin was going to be originally our starter, but Evan Schaefer read the ball. We run veer, and he read veer better than a little bit better than Isaiah. So let Isaiah be an athlete and be receiver, running back for us, and then move to that spot at quarterback. So, and turns out he can throw too. So we're able to open the offense up and get guys in the perimeter more. And that's been the difference this year.
Now, talk a little bit about your conference. I know there have been changes to conferences across the state with, the Ozark Conference out of the Springfield area folding. I think you guys brought in maybe a Rolla and a Camdenton. Does that change your schedule at all?
And Lebanon, just that it's a big possibility we play those guys twice. It's hard to play and beat them twice and get Elias and Camdenton and Rolla and then Lebanon the boot. And so it's we play half of those. We end up probably playing them twice.
Again, we're visiting with Capital City Cavalier head football coach Joseph Collier. Coach Collier, just a little bit about your background. Where did you go to high school, college, and how did you arrive there at Capital City, and how long have you been there?
Yeah, well, so I'm originally from Miami, Florida. I attended Homestead High School in South Florida, and then went to junior college in California, and then kind of traveled here to Westminster, where I did college at Westminster and played football for Coach Welty. He's now on our staff. And then I got a teaching job over at Rockbridge High School where I coached years. So it's been at Rockbridge High School since about 2006. And so until about 2021 is where I got the head coaching job at 4 years ago at here at Capital City High School, and been here for this is my 4th season here at Capital City High School.
Wow, very nice. Kind of run the gauntlet of the country there, Florida, California, and then back into the Midwest. So
gotta find, yeah. Yeah.
You've got Elias Catholic at home this Friday night. Tell us a little bit about what you're going to have to do to come out there.
Well, traditionally, and I think those guys have got the better of us. The past couple years is that they're very disciplined. They run what they're running, and you kind of know what they're going to run, but they do it so efficiently that it's hard if you're making a mistake on defense. If you're making mistakes on offense, you're not going to recover from it with those guys. And so, this year, that's, to beat those teams like the Rock Bridges and the Eliases that we play on the upper echelon of high school football, we had to really work on just refocusing and making sure each down is a efficient down. And so that's been our main focus this year. It's proven to be okay. We have our hiccups every once in a while, but so far those guys have been really working on just playing, alignment assignment football and being as efficient as possible.
Very good. Well, Coach, I greatly appreciate you being generous with your time. I had my mic muted there for a second today here, and I know this was kind of a short turnaround, but I really appreciate you being part of the Missouri Sports Network here on High School Game Day, and best of luck as you go forward. And we look to get you back on, be a little bit easier, just a call-in show on the high school Friday night scoreboard show and talk about your team's victory. But good luck this weekend.
All right, thank you. All right, well, bless.
You're watching the Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol remind us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow.